everyone, and welcome back to Pentiment. This is episode 14. Last time we began our new chapter, our new act, the third act of the game, where we are playing as Magdalene, also known as Mags, Magda, a woman of many nicknames from the townsfolk, some of which she doesn't like, some of which she has grown accustomed to. But we are painting a mural of the history of Tassing and everything that has taken place up to the revolt, and we're wanting to capture it as faithfully as possible with everything that has happened, and it is causing some tension among the townsfolk. We're trying to learn about the history at the moment of Tassing through getting the history to Sidebook, through also potentially going to the salt mine, which is what we're going to be doing currently. So we're going to be heading to the salt mine. We're going to ask for the help of Baltus to see if he has any inventions, anything that will help us get down there. And there's also the ability for us to speak to the twins, Apollo and Artemis as well. Apollo and Artemis, because they frequent there as well. And oh, look at that. It's little Ulrich. Little Ulrich, who we've been doing some hide and seek with. We found him once, found her once, sorry. So I have to get used to Ulrich being named after a different character now. So she's been hiding. This is her second hiding place. Got you. Oh, you found me again. Wait here. I'll find a better spot. All right. Gotta find her again. Off she goes. Not picking the best spots, to be honest. And let's see if Baltus can help us out. Baltazar. Magdalene, hello. I was just jotting down a few new ideas. Did you need something? Yes, if you have a moment. I need to get into the old salt mine, but I don't have a way down. Can you help me? To get into the salt mine, yes, you must be on quite the adventure. Ideally, we could rig up a double pulley system to lower and raise yourself into the shaft. That might take a while. Well, I'd like to go in today, if possible. Of course, of course. Would a good length of rope suffice? You could brace against the wall of the mine shaft. Are you strong enough to support your own weight? Against the wall? I think so. Excellent. Thank you, Baltus. Of course, of course. Here you go. Do be careful, though. Make sure the ropes are secure. I will. Until later. Good luck, Magdalene. Okay, we are roping it down. That is the hardcore invention. That is the hardcore invention. Baltus, you are such a surprise. I can't believe you invented rope. Great. We can also go to Apollo and Artemis, wherever they may be. We'll have a look and see. We've got an objective at the Gertner farm, charcoal burner, and the salt mine. So we are close by to the Gertners, so let's check in here. Big Yorg. Apollo and Artemis. Oh no, it's learning from Il Peter, isn't it? Il Peter. Learning about the old ways. Ah, Magdalene. How are the hinges on your doors? Fine, I guess. Maybe Andrew should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but, well... Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. Is that something the council is worried about? Well, Dad always taught me to keep the house in good repair, if we can afford it. And now Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all homes in Tassing. What do you think of the idea, York? Well, it's not a big thing, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other, as I see it, so if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know? Speaking of, I'd better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magda. See you later, York. Interesting. Il Peter. Let's see what we can get out of him. Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? What's that? was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Oh, the old tales, Oh! It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first one to live here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Moritz ever set a blessed foot in town. What sort of spirits? The sort that I'm getting at. Didn't your father teach you patience, Magdalene? Sorry. It's Perchta and her wild hunt that scares them evil ores away. They've protected Tassing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Raetus. Now, folk weren't as kind as they are now, and the tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favoured other tribes, and Raetus's people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was approaching, Raetus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, as most men would, he helped the beast and loosed it from its bounds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you've got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favours done. And Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Raetus's action and took favour on him, and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Raetus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything. But you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Moritz. That's why a few of us still honour Perchta. She protects us against witches and fiends. It's a wonderful story. Perfect for the first part of the mural. Good, good. Nice to know I can still be of some use in this town. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing? Roman legends? Ah, I don't bother with stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. We've spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days. And still, our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them on. That's why I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural. The mural, Fine, fine. But I don't know any of the old Roman shit. Alright, alright. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. At least someone wants to listen to me. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. I'll leave you to rest then. God bless you, Peter. Humph. Humph. Ill Peter's stories. Okay. Little Peter told me a story about our ancestors and how they found Tassing. Raetus was a lord or a chieftain amongst our people. During a hunt, he found a wolf, but he noticed the wolf's paw was injured by a trap. He spared the wolf's life, and the goddess Perchta used the wolf to guide Raetus and his people to Tassing Spring. The tribe settled in this valley and lived here until the Romans came. It's more myth than history, but it certainly makes for a nice story. Alright, we've spoken to Ill Peter. Ill Peter makes my jaw hurt when I have to voice him. Alright, I guess we'll go to Smokey's hut. we will go to Smokey's hut and then the spring. Sorry, the salt mine. I wonder if Magdalene... Oh, there you are, Ulrich. I wonder if Magdalene will have an encounter with Amelie. Can't hide from me, little bean. You're too good, Mag. I will go find Mom now. Alright. 3 hiding spots. Let me just quickly check. Oh, no? Okay. God bless you, Magdalene. Ah, there we go. We had to talk to Elsie. Ah, there you are. Had enough of hiding, Ulrich? Yes. Magda found me so quick. She's a good finder. No one can escape me, little one. I'll hide better next time. I'm hungry now. We'll have to get you something to eat then, little dove. Pretzel? Oh, is that what a proper child eats? Thank you for your time, Magdalene. Always glad to play with the children, but I really have to go now. I can't wait to see what you'll end up painting. You will do us proud, I'm sure of that. I hope to. Until later. Nice. Alright. Hide and seek side quest complete. Oh no, hang on. This way. Okay, into the forest. What can we learn with old Smokey, eh? Hello, is there something I can do for you? Knives need sharpening? I'm Magdalene Druckerin. Are you a friend of Smokey's? I'd like to think so. I'm Voxlav. I'm a tinker. I travel around and help people out with sharpening knives, little things like that. Druckerin, are you a printer's daughter? My father and I are both printers. Do you sample the wares much? As often as I can. Voxlav, don't. You're going to get in trouble again. What's he talking about? Nothing. Ignore him. Nothing? This one can't help but talk to people about all the strange things he believes. He really reads all sorts of books, talks to odd folks, gets ideas brewing in his head. Now that he doesn't bother old Smokey none. Now that doesn't bother old Smokey none. Bothers some other people a whole lot. Doesn't bother me any. Well, if it doesn't bother you and it doesn't bother old Smokey, sounds like there's nothing to worry about. Fine, you get run out of here again, don't blame me. Again? Ooh, I got run out of here last time, that's why he left. Do I want to know what happened? A long time ago, I got into an argument with some people in town. They told Father Thomas. To his credit, he told them to let it go, but somehow an inquisitor found out. Oh, wow. Anyway, I had to leave for a while. That's why he left. So, books? Strange ideas? Yes, the host. The Eucharist. The Eucharist. The consecrated elements of communion, also called the Lord's Supper or Holy Communion in Catholics. Fucking hell. Can I speak today? Catholicism. The Eucharist refers to the bread and wine after they have been transubstantiated into the body and blood of Christ. Reading. The bread and wine, body and blood of Christ. Holy Communion? What about it? More and more people are writing about rejecting transubstantiation. The idea that the bread and wine of the Eucharist literally becomes the body and blood of Christ. Here we go. Yes? Well, there are 2 ways to look at it. The first is on the grounds that Wycliffe and Huss rejected it. Using our eyes, our senses, there is nothing perceptible that changes in the character of the bread and wine. Must our senses necessarily encompass all of God's miracles for them to be real? No, not at all, but for what reason would God place them outside? Would he place them outside of the compass of our understanding? As an act of faith, blessed are those who believe but have not seen. But if that is the case, of what importance is the material composition of the host? Even if the bread and wine turned to Christ's body and blood, why is that necessary for spiritual communion? We are bound by flesh, attempting to reunite with the light of God through the Eucharist. The act, the observance, unites our will with that of Christ. He is present in us through the remembrance, not the physical act. So what does that matter? Are you saying we shouldn't take communion? No, there's nothing wrong with taking communion as a rite or act. But if you accept what I'm saying, there are other things I'd like to discuss. I'm not listening to any of this. Are you ready to hear why it's important to disbelieve in transubstantiation? Sure, why not? I'll admit I hoped for some more enthusiasm regarding the fate of our souls, but all right. This all starts with Lucifer creating the world. God was the world, and the Word was truth, and truth is light. The light is God's will. God's light contained aspects, what we consider angels, facets of his infinite intellect. One of these aspects separated itself from his intellect and manifested in the darkness as the corrupt will, Lucifer. By what power could a portion God's will separate from the whole? The will moved itself. God's intellect, being infinite, also contained the capacity to transcend the infinite. To exist outside of the boundaries of infinite light, the corrupt will brought into being an equally infinite darkness. Within that darkness, Lucifer cast his false light, a corrupted imitation of the divine intellect, to create the world. All material in our world is inherently a corrupted manifestation of that false light. We still have a connection to God through our intellect, but it is flawed by existing in our physical bodies. So Genesis is wrong? There are many stories of creation, many versions, even of Genesis. Why is it you believe yours is the correct one? You believe the one your church has given you. Maybe if you were given another, you would have believed that instead. Was Jesus flawed by being a man even though he was born of a virgin? He was not born of a virgin. I'm not hearing any of this. And it would not matter if he were. Lucifer was a rebellious splinter of God's will. The Christ appeared when God willed his divine intellect into Jesus. You said that physical bodies were all corrupt. Yes, but while we are the heirs of Lucifer's rebellious intellect, Christ received wisdom from the light of God himself. He did truly die and was truly resurrected in body. But his reappearance was only important for him to convey the message of salvation to the people. In truth, resurrection is always happening, since if we die without grace, our souls are condemned to be reborn. This physical world is the only hell we know, living again and again, the only torment. How do we escape it? Regular prayer, abstention from material desires, sublimation, and elimination of want. That just sounds like being a monk. No, priests and monks both are corrupt agents of the business of the church. They have taken the simplicity of holy devotion and profaned it with pageantry. The saints, too, all this talk of merits and satia and miracles, they're just stories. The church has led people astray, put the hope of people in meaningless rituals, faith in relics. I can see why you don't go into town much. No one really wants me in town anyway. They want me to fix their knives and their pots and little things and be on my way. And that's fine with me. I've seen so much of the world, learned so many things. I've made so many friends that I hope I'll see again if I come their way. Anyway, thank you for indulging me, Magdalene. It was illuminating. Until later. Till then. Damn, that was an unexpected conversation to take place with Václav. But at the same time, not very unexpected. Good day, Mistress Druckerin. I've told you, Smokey. Call me Magdalene. Old habits, I suppose. What brings you to my corner of the woods? More gossip? As much as I'm curious, no. Let's ask about both of them. Only ancient gossip. I was wondering if you knew anything about the old pagan and Roman mines. The mines? Is this a new interest of yours, Magdalene? I don't see the townsfolk trek out there as much anymore. Last I saw were those two twins making trouble. They know a way in, but I'll be damned if I ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there? The mural in the rat house needs a section about the earliest days of Tassing. The mines are the oldest part of Tassing, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something. I don't know about getting down into the mines, but I do know a fair few stories about them, and the other Roman ruins around here. The old stories my father used to tell me when he was the burner of Tassing. The one about Mars and Tassia, the nymph, was always my favourite, though I blame that on my youth. The Roman nymph Tassing was named after, her spring was the foundation of the town. Tassia, like Tassing. Folks named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalene, but I warn you, it's a bit bawdy. Oh, well, I need something about the Romans to paint on a mural. I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember, but I won't have your father hounding me for any coarseness. Alright, what's the story? Well, legend says that Mars was hunting in these woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course, the creature ran off, and the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he tramped through the woods to see why a woman in the forest, and not in the local town. Why would God be hunting in Tassing's forest? How should I know? Maybe he just wanted a brisk walk. Besides, why should anything the gods do make sense? These were the old days when spirits and ghosts prowled. Need more facts, Smokey, not folk tales. Every tale has a seed of truth in it, Magdalene. How else does it become a story? If you're looking for facts, go find that doctor or the inventor. I'm not a learned man, but I know some things. Stories are one of them. Alright. Keep going. So, Mars found a nymph, Tassia, bathing in a spring with a fat, ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. And in return, well... Tassia bathed the god. Ah, I get it. They bathed. I did warn you, Magdalene. When Mars left the pool, he dripped onto the ground and it blossomed with flowers and crops. They say that's why this valley is so fertile. We've been growing crops here for generations. People would want a reason for that, even if it was the gods. Whatever the reason, Tassing's been blessed with fertile ground for hundreds of years. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like what we still have, these tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind too. The town is more Roman than Bavarian, really. Holy Roman Empire, the largest and most powerful European state in its time. The Holy Roman Empire was made up of many peoples and suffered from much internal strife during the Reformation, despite Emperor Maximilian's firm hand over the land. Alright, the town was named after Tassia, the nymph. That, and how much of the town is built upon the Roman foundations. Tassing is actually much smaller now than it was in Roman's day, at least that's what I make of it. The ruins go deep into the forest, and all the way to the old mine. Half of Tassing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around town and you'll start noticing things. We used their stone to build. The old temple by Satia's shrine has grown over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even the abbey used to be an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman pave stones under the road if you look hard. We may not be Roman, but this town is. Tassing has been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea. That's the way of things. Most people don't notice the old stones. Too busy in town to notice what's right in front of their eyes. Maybe I should go take a look at the mine and get a better sense of what things are actually like. Haha, nothing will stop you, I see. Well, I won't either. Just keep an eye for any wolves or satyrs you might find down there, hey? I'll let you know if I see any. Thanks for your help. Good luck, Magdalene. Be safe. Alright, Smokey's stories in Tassing's early history. It might be too carnal for the mural, but maybe I can use it. Alright, to the salt mine. Oh, hello, Apollo. Hey, Magdalene. Hello, Apollo. What are you doing? Looking for frogs. Artemis says she saw one the other day, and we're trying to collect a bunch. Frogs don't come out this time of year. How do you know? Artemis said she saw one. I read it in a tale, or this one. They don't. Hildegard says they're cold and wet creatures. They won't be out this in autumn. Huh, maybe that's why I only have one. What do you need the frogs for? Like I'll tell you, you'll snitch. If you don't tell me, maybe I will snitch. Your mother won't be happy to hear about whatever you're up to. Expert negotiation. Artemis always says Mum doesn't care. Mum yells, but that's about it. Sorry, Magdalene. I can't risk this one. Try asking Artemis. The Great Frog Plague of 1543. Artemis and Apollo are up to something that requires them to capture a bunch of frogs. I don't know what they plan to do with them. A pig? Out here? Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Must have broke out of its pen. I wonder who it belongs to. Interesting. I guess we'll find out. Okay, Artemis isn't here. Artemis might be at the shrine. We'll check the shrine first before we do this. Whose pig is this? Piggus. Biggest piggus. Whose? There you are. Oh, hey, Magdalene. Do you need something? I'm a little busy right now. I need you to show me how you and Apollo get in and out of the old salt mine. The mine? Damn, Magda. Why do you need to get down there? I want to see what our forefathers and the Romans left behind. It's for the mural. The mural? You want to use our secret hideout for your mural? I want to see if they left anything down there I could use as a reference. You're really into that whole rat house project, aren't you? Why should I show you how to get in? Please, Artemis, I won't go in ever again. I just need your help this once. Just like you said you never asked to borrow my favorite scarf again, I need a guarantee, Magda. Look, I'll show you how to get into the mine on one condition. You'll help Apollo and me with our next prank. No telling, no snitching, no questions asked. Fine, tell me what you're up to. Father Thomas has been droning on and on about the plagues of Egypt, right? Apollo and I are collecting frogs to hide in the tabernacle. When Father Thomas opens it on Sunday, frogs will go everywhere. I can't wait to see Father Thomas's face if he can get away with it. He'll never expect to summon frogs in his sermon on the Egyptian plagues. It's the perfect plan. So, what do you want me to do? We stole the tabernacle key, but we need to put it back before he notices. I think there was a Till Eulenspiegel story like this. Huh? He stole a silver box from a priest during confession, then confessed to the priest that he stole a silver box. Yeah? He told the priest he wanted to give him a box that he stole. The priest said he couldn't accept stolen goods. So he stole a silver box, and was absolved by the man he stole it from. Ha! So you're going to steal a silver box from Father Thomas? No, wait, what do you want me to do exactly? I need you to replace the key on the altar in the church. Apollo and I would attract too much attention, but you're the town's goody-goody. Not that bad, am I? Well, not entirely. It's not your fault Ots moons over you. The council lets you get away with anything. Anyway, will you do it? I'll get you into the mine if you do. Need a way to get into the mine, but this seems risky. Shouldn't let the twins get away with this. They cause enough trouble as it is, and the twins are always causing trouble, but this prank seems harmless. Father Thomas will be missing his key, too. Going along with this can't cause that much trouble, can it? What's really interesting is there's multiple ways into the mine then. We can do this, or we can go down via the rope. This is obviously going to be the safest choice to get into the mine, because the rope could potentially snap, we could fall, anything could happen. But then we'd probably just end up finding, you know, a way out. It's not like we're going to fall into the mine and it will be like, you died, the end, you know? We could just take the rope. But I am curious about this. I kind of want to see this prank go through. I'm up to some mischief. Give me the key. Perfect. Good luck, Magdalene. Let me know when it's done. Return the key. I learned that the twins stole the key to the church tabernacle in order to later fill it with frogs before Sunday Mass. Artemis has asked me to return the key to the church before Father Thomas notices that it is missing. Let's go do that. I wouldn't mind seeing a funny prank. Little bit of fun action in this game of depression. Oh, hello, Father Thomas. He's just chilling outside. I'll talk to him because he wasn't here before. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. Oh, we can literally just be like, I found your missing key, and any luck finding the tabernacle key. Any luck finding them keys, then? It's just the one key, actually. Interesting. So I can't, like... I was wondering if I'd be able to just replace it without him even knowing. Any luck finding the tabernacle key? Alas, no, it remains out of reach. Yeah. I'm sure it will turn up eventually, Father. Yes. As the Lord sees fit. In the meantime, I shall keep looking. Knock, and the door will be opened after all. God bless you, Magdalene. Okay. Can I return it in here? Away from his eyes? Alright. It looks like the church is empty. I can leave the key on the pulpit where Father Thomas is sure to find it. I feel like someone's going to walk in as soon as I place it there. There. Better get out of here before Father Thomas comes back. I'll let Artemis know I returned the key, too. Okay, there you go. So you can either give it to Thomas directly, or you can just place it there. Oh, you know what I just realized? You know what I just realized about that? Is, Sister Amelie is in there. And she would have seen us. She would have seen us walk in. She would have seen us walk in and put that key down, and then would tell Thomas. I actually think I want to hand it to Thomas directly. I haven't considered all of my options here. Oh, and I don't think I can I? Because my game was last saved 47 seconds ago, as I exited the church. Well, we got to live with that one. I feel like that's going to bite me in the butt. Amelie would have most likely been watching and seen us place the key there. Why didn't I think of that? Hey, Mags, how's your errand going? I did it. Left the key where Father Thomas would find it. Brilliant. Alright, as promised, Apollo and I will show you how to get into the mine. Come on, follow me. You sure you want to do this, Magdalene? There's some creepy things down there. Who knows how many people have died in these mines? Right, it's probably haunted. You should back out now. Why you still can? You two don't scare me. I'm going down there. Alright, you can't blame us if a ghost gets you. You were warned! Anyway. It's not that bad as long as you know where to put your feet. We do it all the time. Come on, let's get on with it. I don't want to get in trouble again. Fine, fine. Start with your feet on the inner ledge, Magdalene, then look for ledges that look like shelves. God, I could have just fucking roped down here. I thought there was going to be like a secret entrance, not the same entrance. I should have just used the rope. Here goes. Don't forget to move your hands down before your feet so you don't slip. Hike your skirt a little so you don't get caught too. It's easier that way. Wait! The missing rung! Oh, right. There's a missing rung near the bottom. Watch your step or you'll fall. Uh-huh. Like this idiot. Uh-huh. Why'd you have to say that? Why do you always have to embarrass me? Alright, I got it. Thanks. Into the mines we go. Finally seeing in here. Okay. What's that? I did it. I'm at the bottom. Good job, Magdalene. Good luck doing whatever you're doing down there. Maybe don't die, Magdalene. Climbing up might be trickier. Oh well. Time to take a look around. Oh yeah. See, if we had a rope, we'd climb up the rope. I'm not very smart. I reckon we could just climb up the way that we got in, though. It seems like you'd be able to. Alright. Salvation for frogs. Artemis was grateful that I went through the plan to return the key. I guess I'll find out soon if their plan worked. There are lots of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this is a saint's well. Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Rising passion. My rising passion. Poor Jay, I hope her lover was better at things other than poetry. Rising passion. Oh, this looks like a larger version of some of Baltus's contraptions. This winch must have been attached to some sort of hauling and pulley system. Fascinating. Okay. Now that I'm down here, I should see what I can find from the Roman era and before. Oh, bones. They're far too big to be human. No horns. Looks like a mule to me. Maybe it hauled that winch, poor creature, dying down here. That's what must have scared Apollo so much. Cave. Something else here. Oh, a piece of pottery. It's beautiful. Cave, cave. Another item. Oh, another piece. Okay, we are finding a piece of a pot to reassemble. Potentially. Another shard. Oh, a cave-in. The woods here look newer than the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? Interesting. Okay. And 2 caves. Yes, we are assembling shards of pottery. The pottery is scattered everywhere. Hey, this piece looks like it matches the other piece that I found. Oh, some of the stuff from the old ways. Some of these wooden sculptures and stuff that Attilia had outside of her house. Wonder if they're all the same pot. It'd be mighty convenient. Oh, these must be the same kind of figurines Till and the other farmers find in the fields. To think that there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Okay. Ooh. Here's another piece. There's a Latin inscription here. And I have no idea what it says. That's unfortunate. Oh, another shard. Cannot read Latin. What a shame. That's the aqueduct. That's the fort. That's the town. That's the forest. Oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can map everything out. There's the aqueduct and the spring. The abbey was the old fort up on the hill. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. It's not in Tassing now, but something that big couldn't have disappeared. That's so odd. Interesting. Something that used to be there, but is no longer. Another inscription. It's not very formal. A worker must have carved it. Every worker, member of the board. This almost looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. Interesting. Alright, I guess we leave. Got everything that I could in here. How do we get out? Oh, which means there's more to do here. I've missed something. Thought you'd take one of these with you. Okay, don't think there's anything in there. What am I missing? Is there another level to this? Oh, there's another, more stairs, another level. Yes, another pottery piece. I have a lot of these pottery pieces. I should find out if they're all from the same pot. Ah, cool. This is awesome. Okay. How good are we at solving puzzles? This looks like it's closer to the top. Ah, you can rotate it too. Okay, hold on. No, go away. I wish to remove you. Alright, go away for a sec. I fucked up. Looking for this curve. As you can see, I'm a master puzzle piece solver. Well, this is going to be an edge that's like on this, like kind of like this. It'll be an edge to a pot with the blade going up in the air. This is going to be interesting to put together, isn't it? That looks close together, that one there. I don't think the pieces fit together exactly, so I'm like looking for like line shapes and they're not there because I don't think they actually exist. This one does though, but you can see how it's like not exact. That's our first like piece that I've seen that like this one here like matches very, very well. Yeah, you see how some pieces like overlap with each other? Which means this one should not go here. Oh, this is actually that there. Yeah, that's the bottom of it. There you go. It's all bleeding coming together in it. No, not there. This is very satisfying to put together. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes? Oh, hang on. Those two corner pieces. There you go. I had the two corner pieces the wrong way around. So is this might be the pottery that they were talking about that might have been in regards to like the two innocents, maybe? That's like that little grave by the salt mine. Someone here, maybe someone else that's died. Got it. The figures on this pot lid look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth, even before the Romans. Let's see, this must be Perchta, and those must be forest spirits, part of the wild hunt? Oh god, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perchta. The bottom half of the lid continues the story. These look like spirits, they must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. That must be how our ancestors tried to keep Tassing safe, they offered sacrifices to Perchta. This is part of our history, but I'm not sure this is the best story to portray. I'll have to think more about it before I decide for certain. Alright, better keep going before I run out of oil in my lamp. Cool, okay. More Latin writing. I wonder if the Mithraeum was some sort of special temple. I don't recognize the word. Maybe that's the building I didn't recognize. I should see if I can learn more about it. Okay. I won't be able to go any further with all the rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall showed me what Tassing was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I can find out where the Mithraeum was, or what it is. And putting the pottery shard back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tassing. I think I've seen everything I can down here, and my oil is running out. Time to climb back out. Okay. Let's get out of here. Into the mines. This is very interesting. So we're getting some early history. Both pagan and Roman history. And now we leave. Oh shit. Ah! Wait, who's that? Hello? Someone there? Oh, that was a beard if I'd ever seen one. I'd better get out of this shaft before another rock comes crashing down. That was an old Smoky, was it, with that beard? Oh. The only... Who else has a massive, great big bushy beard? Who was that? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have more information, I can make some decisions on the first section of the mural. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Nice. Alright, first section of the mural time. Oh, but I'm still here, but there's so much time has passed. I've just been stood here going, I don't have any reason to go back in, besides I'm too busy with the mural. Okay, to the mural! Whoa, the fuck? Hala, or Hola? You. Yes? I'm Hola Brant, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? I'm the printer's daughter, Magdalene Druckerin. I didn't ask for your name, I asked why you were grazing pigs here. Answer me. That's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. If the pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing here? Does everyone have to justify being in the woods? I was in the salt mine? Doing what? Wait, I don't care. Just tell me whose pig this is. I don't know. The pig was in the woods when I came in here. Ah, a mysterious lost pig. Who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. Jesus Christ. If I find any more pigs in this woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And who brought them here? What the hell? Do you understand? Yes. Good. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's laws. I knew the Lord's men patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and get back to work on the rat house. Fucking hell. Poor pig. And these guys are just chilling. I've been patrolling the woods for hours and I've seen nobody else here. Apollo and Artemis just literally standing here. Like, okay. That might have been the guy that was looking down the shaft then at the salt mine. Magdalene, still wandering around in the forest? I'd get back to town quickly if I were you. Something happened. The Lord's warden has been stalking around the woods. He came by shortly after you did, asking about pigs and laws. He looked rather determined to start trouble. I was worried I might have sent you his way. But it seems you've come back all right. Oh, that asshole. He shot one of the town's pigs for grazing in the forest. Says it was a warning for breaking the Lord's laws. Christ, was that what that crack was? I thought a tree had fallen. The Lord's men haven't come through Tassing too often. I wonder what brought this one. Whatever the reason, I don't like to think of the council's reaction. Well, it won't matter to them, will it? They don't have pigs that need grazing. They only care that they won't cause trouble for the Lord. Listen, Magdalene, that warden won't bother me, but you should get back home, alright? Don't come out into the forest for a while. Let the bastard move on to other towns. Alright, thanks, Smokey. See you soon, Mistress Magdalene. Interesting. Okay. Back into town we go. Time for us to go and do our job at the rat house. God bless you, Magdalene. Should definitely just return the key to Thomas, I think. I don't know. That one's weighing on me a bit. To the rat house. Work on mural. Okay. What are we doing for our first mural? Hey, Mags, how's the mural coming along? Sigh heavily. What? Oh, right. Magdalene. Sorry. Anyway, Magdalene, how's the mural going? Doesn't look like much yet. Her work of art appears significant at the start. You think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor? I suppose not. So, Magdalangelo, what are you doing? I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even what I could find out about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. I guess we didn't even make time to read that book either, but it would have probably been hard for us to read as well. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? Potteries and tools the farmers have found to show how he lived before the Romans. Smokey told me a story about the god Mars as a wolf, the nymph Tassio and how the spring was blessed. Il Peter remembered a legend about the chieftain who healed a wolf that led him to our spring. I'll recreate an image I found in the mine. It showed how our ancestors made human sacrifices to appease Perchta and the spirits. I think I might go with this one. Tempted between these two. Let's go with Il Peter's one. Huh, really? Is that how we all got here? Kind of sounds like some story I heard about a saint. I don't think I've heard it, sorry. Ah. So what made you choose this story anyway? I like that it's about the founding of Tassing. Everyone knows the spring in the woods. I guess that's true. We all know it's old and it's always been here. This just tells a story about how we found it. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I've figured out this portion of the mural, I better start thinking about the next section. I'll leave you to it, Mags. Magdalene. Good night, Otz. Good night, Magdalene. Okay. Right, to Matthew. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kearsau's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew, Forgany So, used to be a brother in Kearsau. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. I should write to them both now before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigida gave me. I love that as, oh, before that, oh, before that, oh, before that. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. Okay, let us read. Where do we read? There's writing, but where is reading? Where do we read book? Do we read book automatically when we pick the option to write? Perhaps. Hello, Magdalene. The objective is just in here. So I'm assuming when we sit down and write, that will be, we will also read. That only makes sense to me because there isn't a sit down and read option. There's just write or go to sleep. Alright, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was the Baron's before Martin stole it. Can't make much of it. Latin is much harder than I'm used to. The book isn't in great shape either since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Ergo simulacarum in agra ut Mars nostrum operum conspiciat. This one seems like a dedication to Mars to bless a field. Sedet Diana loco Scattergion osus ipsa. The virgin Roman goddess of the hunt and the wilderness, Diana is also associated with fertility, the moon, and the underworld. This one talks about Diana wetting herself? Bathing in a spring, maybe? Oremus ut defendant oppidum. Oh, this one isn't as hard. Let us pray so that he, or she really, may defend this town. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. This book is so big, though, it could be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. Werner, too, he's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe even Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Illuminata told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion now. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther too. Okay. Most revered Matthew. All right, we'll do the Archdeacon. My name is Magdalene Druckern. I'm the daughter of Tassing's town printer, Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's rat house. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Kearsau's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the abbey's history, we would appreciate it. I know it may be a small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares, and she speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help. Magdalene. Nice. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoltz said that he's not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. Of course, our good doctor is incompetent. I don't want to believe it, but it's hard to argue with Dad's condition, is what we'll go for there. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him, too. All it said was, stop. It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about my dad. Otts has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints too. I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle and his flirting is annoying. Magdalene definitely isn't like someone who seems like they're into Otts at all, and it seems that if we take the stance that we are, it seems that we're just pushing Magdalene into that, if you know what I mean. Like, there's no part of Magdalene's character that has ever really been like, oh, yay, Otts, great guy, you know? Even when she was talking about writing her letter, she was talking about how she could marry, you know, a great printer or marry, like, someone else, you know what I mean? He doesn't really make the days easier, in my opinion. He just comes in, he's like, hey, Mags. Not much happening here, is there? I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle, and his flirting is annoying. He's no Otto Zimmerman, that's for sure. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas, if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. I was only able to read a little bit of Historia Tessae. The Latin is difficult and the book is in bad condition after sitting in a peasant's drawer for so long. From what I can read, the book talks about various monuments that were made to the Roman gods around town. I should ask around town for help translating the Latin. Sorry, my voice is going. Apparently, Sister Gertrude, Baltus, Dr. Stoltz, and even Father Thomas may be able to read it for me. Okay. I think it's bedtime though, is it not? It is indeed bedtime. Everyone will be asleep, so we are going to bed. It is a new day. It's late. I should get some rest soon. Go to sleep. Oh, big amount of time passing, baby. Let's go. That's many, many days later. Goddamn. We had such a big sleep. Mistress Drucker, a few more letters for you. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. Thank you, Mr. Postman. First letter is from Reverend Matthew. Didn't think... Oh, he's with Rudiger still. I thought he would be. Alright. I have to get back into my Matthew voice. Mistress Drucker, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kearsau. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. Even so, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Some time after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kearsau Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a noble woman of the Kearsau family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kearsau changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Sic asit historia Kearsis. Thus burned the history of Kearsau. Even so, I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I can only hope that their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of St. Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kearsau's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. It is hard to be overjoyed at the news of your neighbor's late regrets. Many of the injuries inflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Regret cannot undo what has been done, but we can all find redemption through Christ. We must pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly. Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Huguenots, a group of French Calvinists known for their vocal and sometimes violent opposition to the Catholic Church. Thank the Lord, you still live in a land ruled by the one true church. I hope this has been of some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew Falsagony, Archdeacon of Sion. And Rudiger survived, obviously, the event as well, which is good. They get to live happily. Ah, another reply from Esther. Oh, Magdalene. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents send their deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than is easy to travel, but I will see what we can do what Hashem allows, which is literally the name in Hebrew. This is a way to refer to God indirectly in informal conversation or writing. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet, the night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age where all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I am glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Alicia has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Simund. His family didn't move far away after all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with mother and father quite often now. So I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well. Esther. I want to go to Prague now. Magdalene, get out of here once you finish the mural and whatever happens with Klaus, and go to Prague. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Alright. When I was supposed to come check on Dad today. I wonder where he is. When Till Eulenspiegel pretended to be a doctor, at least he showed up and his patients felt better. What's Werner's excuse? Maybe I should try to find him later. Ah, good morning, Magdalene. Good morning, Dad. Feeling any better? Your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger. All things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be all right. Your letter from the Archdeacon. Yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He didn't have much to say. He was still upset about the Abbey's destruction. He did say the Abbey was founded by a noblewoman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery. So much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Clares might have held on to some of the records from the convent. We should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. An excellent place to start, Magdalene. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should talk to him. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that the others have forgotten. Elsie, I thought she moved here when she was married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Cavizels used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her, I will. Thanks, Dad. Maybe something remains in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. Ooh, the Abbey's ruins. Magdalene, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I won't go far into them, Dad, just to take a look. All right, wear a scarf too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, all right? All right. Good luck. More time passes. Alright. So, looks like we're gonna be going up to the Abbey. So, we can go to Abbey and the convent, get some information. Gertrude should be able to help us with the book as well. Potentially, Brother Thomas. I'm surprised that he stayed here. But I guess he wasn't directly part of the Abbey or anything. I kind of want to do the Abbey first. Yeah, I kind of want to do the Abbey first. Martha and Carl have moved now, so we've got people that are now here. Hey, Magda. But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. All right, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. With his wooden spoon in his hat. Good morning, Mistress Druckerin. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? On our usual walk around town, November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. I'm getting old. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Ha! Klaus has always been too stubborn to grow old. Shame what happened to him. As if you're not stubborn too. No arguments from me there. Peter survives through sheer stubbornness. Given that the alternative is Werner, I'm glad to have something. Can't even find his ass with both hands. Dad. What? Anton would have made a better doctor than him? Ah, Anton, my poor boy. Anton, I think. It's alright, Dad. Sorry, Carl. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe, then. I can't. It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. I was a fool. What happened? I know I was there, but all I remember is the flames. What a fire it was. The whole abbey engulfed. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Landsknecht stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't even imagine what that was like. I still think of my mother every day. Nothing can make up for a loss like that. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mum and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. I cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I am there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not too long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. Another, like, Klaus and Magdalene scenario. May the Lord bless and keep her. As he keeps your mother, Magdalene. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl, Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continued with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear. Feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. So many, like, genuinely important conversations that you can, like, miss if you just opt to, like, pass people by when you don't talk to them. I'm always, when there's people on screen, I'm always like, we'll see if this, like, warrants an actual, you know, conversation or anything. Considering the abbey was built on top of the fort, the Roman fort, I wonder if they would ever build on this once again, you know? I should talk to Sister Gertrude, since she was a Benedictine nun at Kiersau before the poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. Can we go into the church? No, not yet. Interesting. I wish to go in. Alright, looks like we'll do the convent garden. Gertrude. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favour to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Tessae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. That's alright, sister. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rat House mural. Oh? Did you need more paint? I believe I have enough gold stored away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kiersau, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of tassing saints to the Rat House mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew, since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He's always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes. I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern, who we saw in the prioress's house. That old bag. Oh, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Magdalene Druckerin. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, Well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? Okay, so it's something that'll take some time. So we can tour the convent to get some history. I think it'll probably be the easiest way to get the history. Because I think I think we're probably at another point in the game where it does that thing where it's like you're going to make a choice of who you want to spend time with and learn about things, and it's going to be like, well, this is going to take some time. Do you want to do it now? And then if we spoke to Elsie, she'd be like, we could go into things, we'll go on a walk or something, and it'll take some time. Let's go. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckerin. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about, Sister Gertrude? You know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. I wonder that you've never come up to the Abbey before, Mistress Druckerin. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone, and finishing the mural are too much for me. Magdalene, you should not abdicate your worldly duties for fear of the unknown. However, I agree that working a printing shop and painting are not suitable duties for a woman. Thank God you have turned to us for help. It is no wonder you have felt overburdened by all of this. Please come, I am happy to tell you more of our order. Alright, let us learn. Ooh, we get to actually see the ruins of the, of Kirsau here. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kirsau double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that is not ours to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of our sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I don't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. I won't have. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the rat house. Time to start exploring. You can either come or not. Up to you. This will be remembered. But Mother Franziska said... She said that as long as I'm with you, it's fine to look around. Are you really going to get us both in trouble? No, I always follow Mother Franziska's orders. The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop, though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Okay, so we're in the convent for the first time. We're finally in all of this place. I'm hoping for a chance to go into here at some point as well, but this is going to be cool. So the convent, kitchen, cloister, aquarium, and the chapel, the herb hut, which is where we've been before. So it's an art studio and a courtyard. It's going to be really cool to actually finally see this area. Margaret's chilling. God bless you, Magdalene. And has cat. Convent kitchen. This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister, how do you pronounce that name? Sister Ysabeau. Sister Isabel. I'm just gonna fucking say Isabel, bro. Your name's Isabel now. Sister Isabel. Sister Marie and Sister Isabel take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Okay. Look at that fish. Isabel. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. It's very noble of you. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Yes, that's how that works. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. Didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes, but even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. You are most welcome, child. God bless you. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? Oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother Franziska graciously allowed me to visit with you. Alleluia! Glory and praise be to God. You brought such joy to me this day, child. I haven't actually joined yet, sister. Do you have a strong stomach? Perhaps you could help Sister Isabel and me in the kitchens. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabel has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of St. Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Was there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again, not to Magdalene, please. Trick of the light. Moonlight must have gotten caught in the smoke from the fire and you thought you saw an apparition. Upon my vows, I swear I saw a figure rise through the ground at vigils. I was so frightened I fell prostrate and prayed to the Lord to save me. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but the convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. Spirit in Kirsau? Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think that this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Get me out of this kitchen immediately. To the cloister. Okay. So the courtyard out that way, the chapel, which will be pretty good, and the laquarium. Here's the laquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is part of our vows, and this is the, where Sister Dana was that one time. She just like stood behind it on the other side. We've been in the other side of this room. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes and even talk to men on occasion. I'm stuck here staring at these walls for the rest of my life. I clicked on the thought bubble. I fucking clicked on the thought bubble. That's bullshit. I clicked on the thought bubble, dude. I hate picking. I don't even know which dialogue option I picked. I didn't even read it because I was going to do thought bubble first. I don't know. I also don't know. What did I say? Fucking leave the convent? My father promised me to the church as a baby, some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. I'm so sorry. No one should be forced into a life they don't want. We daughters are born to bear our family's legacy between our legs or on our backs. It doesn't matter. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. We can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. I understand I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by expectations of marriage and homemaking. I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margaret. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. If you could do anything else, what would it be? I would have liked to go to one of the big cities at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. Okay. We will now we'll go to the chapel last. So we'll do the courtyard. Ah, it's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you. Ah, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent, anyway? Mother Francisca said I could look around. Oh, well, don't let me get in the way, then. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh, yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold, like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's, Mauritius myself. Oh, no. Who? Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. There we go. Christian legends. So we can either, it feels like what we can do with this mural that we're painting is we can... My microphone just disconnected, so... what it seems like with this mural is we can go full on into a factual retelling or a spiritual retelling of like myths and legends, or like sort of like a mixture of both, you know? Like, I think like on the first section of the first section can be very much like the pots and tools and stuff to show our beginnings, or you can tell the story of the founding of the, you know, the river and everything like that. So it's very interesting how you can choose to base this mural on. I'm interested to see the outcome of it too. It's said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of St. Moritz saving Tassing, because we also, this story of like, that we chose for the first part, Otts was like, pretty sure I've heard that story, but like, I think it was a saint, so it's like different versions of the same story, you know? Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? Oh, well... I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Well, that's unfortunate. I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. That's alright. The book would probably have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Besides, that story gives me ideas for the Rat House mural. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you, sister. Haha, thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. Into the art studio. The workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming to see the hand of St. Moritz. It looks like everything was just left here after the fire. Nothing's been used in years. We can't subsist on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce goods for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. But art allows us to find beauty in life. Even Christ said the Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. I agree, but That's not the rule of the Poor Clares. Mother Francisca considers art a temptation into hedonism. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here unless to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots too. You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Oh, God, no. We all live too close together in the convent for something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Art means you're going to be a hedonist. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'd hate it here. Such valuable paint left to dry and crack on the palettes. There's an old parchment scrap here. It's different than the others. Ah, that's the, nice. That's the aqueduct that, we fell into. Andreas and Caspar. What's Caspar doing these days? Looks like a scrap from a manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margin. It says, the Mithraeum. Oh, that's the Mithraeum. The Mithraeum of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood. Mithraeum, that's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. Wait, this might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mithraeum. I don't know. It's not a word I've ever heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. Well, the note says the Mithraeum was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now. Damn. These old badges are beautiful. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them too. Okay, I guess that's it for here. Okay, and now we check the final location. We go to the chapel. This is the chapel where we all gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the Covenant. The Covenant? The convent. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it does represent the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became a monastery. A freestanding defensive tower not built for permanent habitation. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kearsau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. The Lady Kearsau was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. There you go, some record of what occurred would remain. Like a mural. Kearsau is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, 1 male and 1 female, to guard the town and abbey. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire. Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the rat house. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. Nice, we're all done. Well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much here. What do you think? What do you think it? What do you think it? There's some really unfortunate typos that are not typos, and it's really funny. Like, there are typos that get fixed in dialogue all the time in this game, and then you see genuine typos. I know, it's quite funny. What do you think of it? I can see why people choose the holy life, but it's not for me, not without art. I understand. You've dedicated your whole life to your work. You'd struggle to give that up now. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. I think you should go. Do what your heart tells you. I like having a full persuasion meter. You never chose this life. You deserve to have the life you truly want. Haggling background gives me +3. Disobeyed the mother, agreed that being forced into the convent is wrong, and asked what Suzanne wants to do with her life. Bam! Magdalene, I think you're right. My family's devotion doesn't have to be mine. Maybe I can find a way out in time. I'll help however I can, Suzanne. I'm sure we have some spare provisions at home. Really? That would be wonderful. So long as no one found out. Anyway, we should return to Mother Franziska before she suspects something. I learned a lot today. Thank you for showing me around the convent. No, thank you. Magdalene, today has been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother Franziska. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Well, Magdalene, what is your assessment of the poor Clares? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? I am compelled by the devoted life the sisters lead, Mother Franziska, but I'm afraid I must tend to my father first. Of course, I understand. Caring for your father is in itself a noble path. However, if your heart leads you back up the hill, the doors to the convent are always open to you. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of an old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. Thank you for allowing me inside. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. God bless. Ah, Magdalene, how did your little expedition go? I learned a lot from seeing the Abbey. I have a good idea of what I would depict in the mural now. But sister, there's something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tassing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tassing and moved on. In truth, the abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Kearsau was running out of money and patrons. The riot and fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. I doubt you'd find anything of help for your mural inside, other than charred wood and parchment. Might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Magdalene. I really do. Thank you for your help, Sister Gertrude. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. Time has passed. Here we go. All right. An interesting little excursion to finally see the convent garden. The chapel had a mural depicting the construction of Kearsau Abbey, with a claim that the abbey was founded by Lady Sabine in 1261. I also found a part of a page in the nun's old workshop. It had a painting on it of a strange building. Writing on the page said it was Tassing's Mithraeum and that it was lost in a flood. That's the second time I've seen a reference to a Mithraeum. What is it? I'm going to investigate the ruins of the abbey to see if I can find some answers. I wonder if we could go to the Mithraeum ourselves, considering we know where it is, you know? Well, that was, I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of Kearsau. And that illustration from the manuscript, the Mithraeum, it was like the one in the mine. It is part of the history of the abbey? Is it part of the history in the abbey of Tassing? It must be written down somewhere. If only the library hadn't burned down with everything in it. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. Yeah, baby, let's fucking go. Let's go check it out. We could go to the Shrine of St. Satia and see if we could get there, maybe. My god, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. I like that we've got some beautiful music to go with this as well. Oh shit! Oh. Oh. Felt that one. Oh no, can't get back up there. If I climb, it might collapse further. I have to find another way out. We know plenty of ways in and out of this place at the moment. The crypt, though, I can already see that the crypt is fucked. So I was like, we know that the crypt has a way out. The kitchen has a way into... Oh, this might be what we have to do. We could go into the kitchen, down into the aqueduct, and then we'll find our way out again, because we've done it before. That's probably what we'll have to do. We know that there are multiple entrances. Oh, actually, fuck. No, that kitchen entrance was in the convent. That was in the sisters area, wasn't it? That wasn't in the church. Must be somewhere else. I'll have to find another way out. So yeah, we can't go down to the crypt. We can only go to the tower where all of this has gone to. The bells have fallen. Guess we'll go through the vines. There's nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. Climb the vines. These vines go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. Seal of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. This is really beautiful. Nice. Getting down to the scriptorium. Lovely. Alright, before we explore further, I'm just going to take a quick break and then we will continue to explore. Alright, let us proceed. My lunch arrived, so I had to eat, you know. Man's got to eat. I know we're in work hours in Pentiment, but I needed an early supper. Oh, God. I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. Doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. A very good memory for a baby. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? I know she was like a toddler, but still. It's hard to remember those things, but I guess you remember the traumatic memories stick with you. You have like those flashes of like I certainly think, like, most people have probably had that in a way. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? All right, well, we're going out this way. The cemetery. These roses seem to have made the Abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. Okay. No going into the scriptorium. But the cemetery, let us take a look. Roses. Roses everywhere. Just trying to see if there's any graves that can be interacted with. Interesting. Okay. Into the cloister. Oh! Cat! I wonder if there were always this many cats at the Abbey. Perhaps I can ask Gorgeous what he remembers during his time here. Look! Is this the cat that I fed the sausage to? I can't pet this one. But it has had baby. I fed the sausage 18 years ago, so this would be son of sausage cat, and then further cat. Child. Kittens. This place is a mess. How sad. To the chapter house. Or investigate. The door's stuck. I can't get through this way. To the chapter house. To the Dance of Death mural we go. Oh. Oh. It's been added to. Look at this. There's some graffiti here on the Dance of Death mural. Holy shit. Oh. An old mural. Wow. And it's oh wow. It's the people. That's Prior Ferenc. That's Otto. Baron Rothvogel, Ferenc, Otto. Oh my god. This mural fucking paints the history of the murders in the town, that's for sure. Oh, so Baron Rothvogel with his wound to the chest, Prior Ferenc with his love of the occult, Otto dying here with a tree growing out of him and one fruit. It's an old mural, it's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A Dance of Death. Brother Guy, and then Andreas, and Caspar. Holy shit. Fuck, does that mean Caspar went in? Does that mean Caspar came back to, like, because we failed to convince him to leave, but we never saw what happened there. Did he try and go after him and also perished in the flames? What? These figures look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. There's Brother Guy doing his fucking book. You know? Doing his double booking. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the Dance of Death, and why? These look like people from the town, from here, people who died. That must be the Baron, and that's Otto. Wait, is that... God. So this is like, so we went to the convent and there's paintbrushes and stuff missing from there, which has been pointed out. And this is what it's been used for. Someone's here. Hello? Oh shit. Who are you? An Abbey forgotten. Oh my god. Interesting. Someone's here. And they've run away. I think I learned all I can from the ruins of the Abbey. It's so sad seeing it like this. The paintings over the Dance of Death, I'm not sure what to make of them. I think they're supposed to be people who died around the time of the revolt. Who would do such a thing? Were they made by the person who's following me? Is it the same person who was at the mine? The person who attacked my dad? If Caspar's on this mural... It's Caspar and Andreas. So if it looks to me that oh shit, no, I can see what happened here. Caspar was pierced by an arrow and also perished in the flames. So he would have been going back for Andreas. And there's Andreas weeping over him as well. That is fucked. Wow. Who's added to it? The door is now open. Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything left of the Abbey. I want to get out of here. Now we can leave. Who is this mysterious person? Snowing already. The almanac said it shouldn't start for another week at least. I think we're in for a hard winter. Okay. And with that one, we will bring this episode of Pentiment to a close. A lot of investigative work this episode and a lot of history of the town. We've got started on the mural and we've got, you know, some Roman history there, some Christian history there. Seeing the Dance of Death has been added to is very, very intriguing, and I can't wait to see what happens next time. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and I will see you then.